Good morning to everybody. Am I audible? Organizing team?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Chattar Singh sir, he will be joining very soon. Just wait for a minute. Sir, did you join? Hello. Am I audible to all of you? Sir, did you join?
Yes, sir.
Sir, please switch on your microphone.
Hello.
Sir, yes, sir. Organizing team, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Good morning to everybody. I'm very happy today. We have with us Honorable Vice Chancellor of Right Technology University, Bangalore, Professor Dr. Singh, sir. I shall welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, to this one-week national level faculty development program on excellence in higher education, perspective of NEP, which is spread across 18th December to 22nd December 2021. This program is being organized by Sardar Patel College of Engineering, Mumbai, and Federation of Education Leaders and Administrators in collaboration with SA India Western Section and Indian Institution of Industrial Engineering under the IQAC of SPC. A warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Now I request our organizing team to kindly introduce our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir.
Yes, sir. Good morning to one and all for the 13th session. I would like to welcome you all and thank everyone for coming. It's a great honor for me to introduce you to our eminent speaker for this session, Dr. Chancellor Singh, who will be taking this session on advances in science and art of teaching and learning. Professor Dr. Chancellor Singh is a well-known social scientist and a political analyst, specializing in regional studies. Having done his master's degrees in history, mass communication, and laws, he was awarded a PhD degree in modern history from Kurukshetra University, where he taught for 36 years before retiring as professor and chairman of the history department in 2012. Now he has 41 years of experience in academic administration in government and private sectors in the education industry. Then he worked as founder director of a law college, Delhi Metropolitan Education, in Noida, affiliated to IPO Delhi. It was under his guidance that 5 out of 10 toppers of the IPO Delhi were from his law college, including the topper girl. He was instrumental in organizing a 2-day national seminar on human rights as a director. He has been teaching history to the MA MPhil students and also history and political science to BA LLB students, besides entrepreneurship to BBA and BCom students. We welcome you, sir. Over to you now.
Warm welcome to you, sir. Now the session is hand over to you. You can now share your PowerPoint presentation.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm grateful to you, your organization, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, and Engineering College, and particularly FELA. They have given me this chance, this opportunity to interact with the galaxy of intellectuals of India, working in colleges and universities, and bringing up to the real core of Indian youth in 20s to the maximum. Last evening, I was studying how much progress Indian youth has made. That will be discussed later, because Indian youth has great potential. We cannot discard today's generation on certain grounds, because Indian youth has great potential and they can excel in any field. In our future times.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Are you also sharing the presentation?
I can do that, but I don't know how to do that.
Sir, at the bottom, you will find one present now tab. Please click it.
Which one? Which one?
At the bottom, you will find one rectangle,
Mm-hmm.
one circle, one rectangle in the circle. It is a present now. Please click it.
Actually, I'm not in the office, so I'm at home.
At the bottom, you will find number of circles. Did you get those circles?
Yeah.
In one circle contain the rectangle with the arrow.
Is this one?
Yeah, please click it. It is present now.
This one?
Yeah, please click it. Is it present now?
It's not coming up. Can I send you the email?
Gayatri, please look into this, if possible. Gayatri, are you there? Sir, did you get that rectangle?
I'm not able to find it.
Okay, sir, fine.
So can I help?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So like, can you find several options below on the mid screen? There is a hand palm like icon. Can you see that?
Can I send this PPT to you on email? Or WhatsApp?
Sir, please send the PPT. We will present.
Okay, so
That is better because I'm not so.
yeah, fine, so no
Necessary.
problem.
No problem, sir. We will present. Please send it to me.
Just a minute. Just बंद कर दो ना. आप जाओ.
Yes, sir. Did you send it?
Your email ID, sir.
I have sent the email to you, invitation email. You can attach it to it. Did you locate the invitation email, sir?
Yeah, that is there.
Fine.
Just a minute. I'll do that.
Yes, sir.
Just a minute, sir. Sent.
Okay, sir.
Did you get it?
No, sir, not yet.
Not yet. Oh my God.
Yes, sir, I received it.
Okay. It takes time reaching Bombay.
Yes. Fine. Gayatri, I have sent it to you. Please present.
Okay, sir.
Gayatri, did you receive it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fine. Gayatri,
Sir, my net connection is taking some time. I've forwarded it to Devesh. He's presenting. Just 2 minutes.
Devesh, did you receive it?
Yes, sir, I'm downloading it. I will present it in just a few seconds.
Yes, sir, it is now available.
Oh, thank you, sir. I'm sorry for the delay.
No problem, sir. Is it visible to you?
Yeah.
Fine. Devesh, please keep it in presentation mode.
Sorry, present. Wait a second. Let me try it.
What happened, Devesh?
Yes, I'm trying on it.
It's okay, Devesh. Whatever the mode, please show it. Okay. Sir, is it visible to you?
Yes, sir.
We can start, please.
Right, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Today's topic is advances in science and art of teaching and learning. This is particularly in reference to the NEP 2020. the government of India is trying its level best to take higher education to the maximum level. And the target is 10-20 years. In Bangalore, recently 2 summits were held, one for South Indian universities and other was for all India level. Shast Buddharaje participated in both, and Kasturi Ranjan also participated in that. So it was a great learning from these 2 conferences, summits, for me at least. And I could realize that there is something that the government of India and the UGC, they want something different post 2 decades. So the system of teaching and learning by use of science and technology, and also for creativity by the teachers in the classroom and elsewhere, this is the focus of today's program. I'll come to the point of defining this. Actually, my system is that whenever I have a topic, I should dissect that. I should know the meaning, the connotation, and the interpretation, definition of all those words which are being taught today, which are being discussed today. Science, first of all, I'll take it. What is science? This is very, very easy question, but this has to be taken into note that it is not only 2 + 2 = 4, or it is not only PCB, physics, chemistry, and bio, natural science. Right. The science is which is based on experimentation and observation. These are the 2 important things. Empirical, theoretical, experimental, there may be many, right from 2 to 10 definitions for that. But science is what is factuality. It is everywhere, whether in India or abroad, the results are the same one. It depends upon facts. Nothing can be inserted into it just like art. So this is definitely different from art. Universally, that everywhere in the world, you can practice that, you can test it, you can experiment it, you can observe that. And it can be verified anywhere. This is same thing in every part of country, except variations, small variations. And it has objectivity. It is not subjective. It is not prejudiced that one can do something because he's some stalwart or he can predict something. No, it is only based on these results that we can predict. Just like we have to a great extent predict our weather and other things also. So in science, it is factuality, universality, verifiability, objectivity, and we can also predict. But there is one thing, nothing is complete. Even in mathematics, I was told when I was a school boy that 100 is not complete word. It is 99.999999 like that. So 100 is not perfect one. So that's why science cannot be taken as perfect one, but it is near to that. Now I come to the next point, art. What is art? I mean, this science means that a teacher shall have to teach in the class which is factual, not on the basis of hearing or not on the basis of something else, no deviation from the facts. So a teacher has to keep in mind that it should be factual and it should be universal and it should be based on experiments and observations. Second thing is art. What is art? We can understand this is creative art, this is film art, this is painting. So many things are there. It is expression of creative skill and imagination, mostly in visual form, and it is consciously created. A person, a human being creates something which is in his mind, and it is imagination. It is not based on facts, because skill, creative skill is in his mind and hands, both. Fine arts come when one is thinking something else and using his hands or something, some skills, organs of the body to create that form. That is visual. That should be seen everywhere. So there are some kinds of art also, visual art, which is visual. In today's world, every showroom, every mall, something like that, every shop is having visual merchandising. Whatever is displayed, it should attract the eyeballs. So visual art is very important. Whenever you dress up very decently, that somebody should be looking at you and appreciating whatever you are wearing. So that is visual art, fashion art, graphic art. When you design, there is a girl in FB, so fantastic pencil art is there that you cannot imagine that whether this is pencil art or this is photograph. Similarly, decorative. In our architecture, household things are decorative one, and there is a particular course for that. Interior designing. What is that? This is decorative art. And plastic art, architecture and all that we have for structures. It is made on plastic and then 3D, use of 3D, and then big buildings are created. Beside that, there is literary art. In Jaipur, it is going on, Jaipur Literary Conference. It is for 3 or 4 days. And people from all over India, all over world, they join this summit to produce and to exhibit their talent of writing. So many artists join that, online also and offline also. So literary art, Amrita Pritam, she has been a great artist, writer. So many, since old days, Kabir, Tulsidas, Valmiki, literary art. They wrote so many good things. Second thing is stage performance art. Whatever our film industry is doing, or drama, and particularly Maharashtra, it is very famous. In Punjab also, it is dying in Punjab. But in Bengal and Maharashtra, this stage performing art, in Gujarat also, it is having its heydays even today. Then photography. It is also an art. How to click photographs. And some of the photographs that a photographer was having a pic of a person in Somalia, a boy was dying of hunger, and some birds were there to eat it out, and that photograph was appreciated world over, but also deprecated because that photographer did not take care of the boy, small boy, who was eaten up by the owls. So photography art is there. Then architecture design. Today, you'll find that designing is emerging as a very important sort of course in universities. Buildings, green buildings. It is case of architecture design and art. Now, my next point is that how can we use this science and art into our classroom teaching? So this is teaching, learning, pedagogy. As I said earlier, that we have this system, hybrid system, you can say. We use science, that means the tools of science, technology into it, and then a teacher has to create his own style, own model of teaching in the class, differently. Earlier, there used to be blackboard and chalk. We as a teacher, we have been taught on blackboard using this chalk and duster. So it was a period that when this system was prevalent and new system was not there. Even then, the Indian students at that time also emerged, like Radhakrishnan, like Dr. Kalam. Those were taught by this patron in the classroom, sitting on the floor. Earlier, it was cramming, parroting, you can say. Tables were crammed outside the classroom in the open one, and that used to be system, and that was considered to be the sign of intellect that one has, and one can cram the tables from 2 to 10 or something like that, even 1.5. Date ekam date duni teen, date 4 4 5 something like that. So that used to be the system of learning mathematics. Then in modern period, we are using science and technology extensively, use of different applications. It is part of our studies now in homes and in classrooms. We are using maximum applications, scientific application, technological application, LMS that we have, that we provide to the students, that what is learning material they should have, so that they are smart, they are well equipped with the class, with the system that is being taught in the classroom. We have converted from blackboard to whiteboard and smart classroom. We use projectors. We use multimedia, YouTube, photographs, graphics, so that a student can understand what is being taught in the class. So this mode of teaching is taking place today. But at the same time, it is not only this system that can make the things enter into the brain of the student, but teacher shall have to use his own tactics for that. Mode of teaching, we have virtual classrooms, we have flipped classrooms, recorded lectures which can be shown project. We have maximum of IT today. During students were climbing the trees so that there is good reception of internet and all that in Bihar particularly, or the remote areas. They had very difficult time, but they managed. This pandemic period has given a boost to the IT sector, to this IT technology for education. Moreover, the government of India, particularly UGC, has given a boost to it, because this cloud internet spreading over the remote areas of 20 kilometers has been created. It is being created so that in rural areas, students who do not have internet services over there in the villages, they can use that. That is the satellite system which will provide internet facilities to the students of rural India. That is being that idea came from this pandemic period where students were not able to do that. Moreover, use of phone, use of laptop, use of mobile and all that. So that is being used extensively to grab education system. So knowledge creation during the pandemic period has been of great value. But I should admit, and I don't mince words, that those who will or who have passed during this pandemic period their classes of 10th or plus 2, they are being branded as COVID products. I mean, they were having this knowledge from distance education, or you can say online education. So that shows how important is the availability of a teacher in the classroom, how important it is to have a eye-to-eye contact for teaching. So this thing has emerged during this period, that when students do not learn anything practical, they are sitting in homes, they cannot do practicals, they do not have anything that can facilitate them to do something practical. So it is only theoretical knowledge that they have gained through technical or technological equipments. But at the same time, this facility has spread to the rural areas, to those we call them have-nots. So science and technology is only facilitator, but not the real teacher. Teacher cannot be replaced by anything. Classroom teaching cannot be replaced by this online or distance education. Right. Now, having said this, the role of education has great, credit to science and technology. It has. We earlier used to have group discussions. We used to have presentations. We used to have so many things over there, which today is somehow lacking. Or we think that the importance of this one is not so good, because those who are parroting, those who have the knowledge of theoretical calculations, they are considered to be the master, to be the intelligent student. But actually, this science and technology has not been able to create original thinking among the student. Because unless students are asked to do practicals in the classroom and under the eyes of a teacher, they cannot get the real taste. They cannot get the real feel of the practical that they can do. In theory, they can do it, but practically they are not. I tell you one example, sir. In the last summit that was held in Bangalore, the Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, Dr. Ashwath Narayan, sir, he particularly told the teaching community, the vice chancellors, the registrars, the directors, that last time I had one meeting with the industry, and all of them in one word, they said that we are not getting students from the colleges, from the university, which are employable. That means practical knowledge is almost zero. Almost zero. They have theoretical knowledge. But in industry, what industrialists need is practical knowledge. He should be able to work on computer, work on machines, work on laptop, work on so many things which is required by the industry to be conducted by them. So he outrightly said that it is the need of the hour that the universities and the colleges produce not theoretical 80% or 90% students, but students who have practical knowledge, who can do things with their own hands using their mind too. So it was a great lesson for the education community of India that they should now focus on practical. That's why the AICD chairman 2020, we are planning our best that the students in the class +2 or in graduation, they must have this practical knowledge in their industrial attachment. They should have practical knowledge working in the industries where they are supposed to be employed. So they must have, and the collaboration of academy, industry, and education that is being chalked out, and many institutions. I tell you an example of Karnataka. Karnataka has collaborated with two of the best universities of UK and Scotland. Recently, there was a meeting of senior most officers of embassy from those countries and also from Karnataka, where this education minister was there, Dr. Ashwath Narayan. And then they signed one memorandum. The university, Bangalore, I tell you for one example, this Tata Institute of Science, earlier it was, now it is Indian Institute of Science. They've been collaborating with so many institutions all over the world so that research work is done. But I'm not for this. In colleges and universities, most of the teaching is done for the purpose of making students employable, making students some entrepreneur, making students something that they can live off their own. Now, having said this, the one thing that most of the peers of education or peers of industry lament is that students are highly educated, getting good scores. Are they human beings? Or they are being human? I mean, the socio-cultural values are going down. They are only concerned with the education, with getting good marks. That's all. That's all. Those who are having a joint family, they hardly even for because it is unitary family. So that also impacts the learning of student in which ambience they are living. How are their parents? Parents are going for jobs. That is their what can they do? They have to earn to educate their student and their sons wars, and they have to create atmosphere where the wars can survive, wars can excel. That's why they are busy in their jobs. They cannot imbibe the social cultural values. But at the same time, new values are coming up. It is not old ethos that students are supposed to be adopting all that. But at the same time, I think I should have a debate on this, that students who are being created as robots, that they only know this thing. You can have a reference of 3 Idiots. They are being produced for the industry, but they don't have any practical knowledge. So they can claim jobs, but they cannot sustain that. That's why after 6 months or 1 year, they are shunted out with pink slips, because they are not worth the institution, the industry is paying them. So that is the point. And I'm emphasizing this point because science and technology is very important. Nobody denies that. It is very important, but at the same time, a role of a teacher in the classroom and outside the classroom, that is most important. Practicality, employability, job opportunity, entrepreneurship, that can be done. We are having so many centers for entrepreneurships. They are having skill and entrepreneurship program by so many institutions, by government skill and entrepreneurship development ministries there. So are these students worth employable? That is the basic question. Basic question in the sense that unless we have this opportunity, that we force them, we inspire them, we coach them into 3 things. Number 1, that they should be employable, that they should become entrepreneur, and also they should have job opportunity. They could be employed anywhere, or they can create their own. So that is system. Use apology also, and that is science, and also the technique used by a teacher to make sense of the topic to the students. That everything that is being taught in the classroom enters the mind of student and it remains there forever. So there's hybrid model of teaching and learning that should be appreciated. That should be done. Now, learning process today. My point is, my take is that it should be hybrid mode of learning, not that offline, online. I'm not emphasizing on this one. This is usually called that it is hybrid, online, offline. But offline means that entering into a classroom, meeting students, teaching them, coming back. It is one-way traffic. Unless you have interactive sessions in the classroom, unless you have eyeballs who is listening, who is not listening, and unless you have a pinpoint upon students and the presentations by the students, and impartial training, impartial assessment of the teacher, of the students by the teacher, that is very important. You can give everything to them, everything, LMS, all right, but what they grab out of that, that is to be tested. This examination is no real test, you know it pretty well, sir. But the real test lies in the classroom. That's why most of the universities, most of the good institutions have implemented the program that they should be, if not weekly, then fortnightly or monthly test, sudden test, without any information to the students, so that we could know that really he is grading something in the classroom or outside classroom or not. So the real test lies when sudden you ask them to present a paper or to present one program on the dais, or to write down something for 4 pages or something like that. That is the real test. Students will be very conscious that any day it can be a test, it can be a presentation. So this semester examination is of value, right? Because that gives the marks, that gives the token, the award, the certificate. But the real test will lie when we have occasional and frequent tests in the classroom, right? Now, students are asked to go to the university library or college library, and there they can have use of computers. They can go to any website of their taste or of their need. Then so many materials are lying over there. Then university and colleges also provide them LMS. Teachers note. I mean, a teacher who teaches for 1 hour in the classroom shall have to work to prepare those notes for 4 hours. That is practical. Those who come to the class without preparation, yes, they are paid, but their designation, their reputation, their respect in the students is well known. I, as a student, and for post-graduation classes, I had a teacher who had HOD in history department, Kurukshetra University. He will not come with a register. He will not come with any book. He will not come with any note. The chalk will be there, duster will be there put by the PM, and then he will start writing things. He knew 16 languages, and he was chairman of Asiatic Historian Association. I don't think anybody like that was there. They could speak all Indian languages, Russian languages, Portuguese, Hebrew, Greek, Portuguese, French, German, so many languages. And he will come with dhoti kurta, chappal and dhoti kurta. So such educationists, such stalwart in education are no more in India. Those days are gone. So a teacher should have this pen. He was called a running encyclopedia of history. There was a feature on this gentleman, Professor Budh Prakash, by the Tribune newspaper, running encyclopedia. You ask him anything about world history, about Indian history, about ancient history, he would reply. Hardly will find such. It happened because he used to study day in and day out. You could see him only after appointment. That was the process. Because he will not waste time in gossiping or doing politics and all that. So a real teacher is, I still remember that. That is almost 35 years back. We remember those, even today, those who are good teachers. And you as good teachers will be remembered. When you will go out, you will be honored by them. Maybe IPS officer, maybe IAS officer, something like that. So a real value of teacher lies in what he teaches in the class or outside class. So this online and distance learning, well said, it is need of the hour. Because we have to educate the Indian youth, that is 35% of the total population, and that is not educated one. So at least some knowledge has to be given to them. For that, we are starting online and distance education. But those who are doing it, again doing the same mistake. Right. Now coming to the next point. Of course, huge advances has been made by science and technology in providing education and providing teaching also, because most of the teachers use these technical aids for effective teaching, and students use these tools for learning. So it is both ways, dual way. So this, I said, this satellite particular area 20 kilometers that is being chucked out. Because this necessity was due to this fact that this time, pandemic time, education was not reaching them. So, sorry. So that was envisaged by the government and they are doing it. And you don't know how long this pandemic will continue. So especially during the COVID pandemic period, so many things, so many advances were made by technological application to provide education to the last point of the village. Now, during this period, new courses are starting emerging. New courses. The focus is on employability, entrepreneurship, not job, because India does not have much jobs now. Already crores of educated students are wanting like without any jobs. Not even 10,000 rupees they are worth. They are not being employed. So new courses are being envisaged by good education institutions to meet the demand of the industry in the coming years. So these courses are that you need not go for PhD, you need not go for post-graduation. You should be able to do after +2 or after college some job which is needed by the industry. So the employability is that one who is worth employable in the industry. Now coming to the entrepreneurship, we are having too much of fun, and Delhi government is doing entrepreneurship. Now, doing this thing, will there be any buyer of the product of entrepreneurs? That's a big question. We in India usually go after one thing. He is doing something, I'll do that. One is doing, second is doing, third is doing, so I should also go for that particular technique. Paid charge. But that should be assessed, whether this is worth or not. In which area it should be done. Entrepreneurship in hills, entrepreneurship in South India, entrepreneurship in desert of Rajasthan and Gujarat. There should be different one. So my point is that if you are going for employability, job opportunities, entrepreneurship, India should be divided into 4 parts. And the youth of that particular area should be employed over there according to the need of the industry. They should be equipped with that knowledge, practical knowledge. And some institutions are doing this business. I'm sorry to use the word business, that they are creating new courses and they are creating new materials. Every day you will find your email that do this, we have prepared this LMS and all that, attendance, ERP or something like that. So I'm sorry to say that the business is being created out of this pandemic period. That is not bad thing. That is good thing. But at the same time, it should be used judiciously. It should not be at the disadvantage of student and educational institutions. Right, sir. Next one. Yeah. Now coming to the other than science, art. What is creativity? As a student of history, when I used to teach classes, right, then you can see as a student of history, there are 2 points in Indus Valley civilization, 2 major points, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Right. So it was very difficult for the student to pinpoint where is Harappa and where is Mohenjo-daro. You see the map of India, I cannot show it here. You see the map of India, there you will find Harappa in Punjab and Mohenjo-daro in Singh. Harappa is on the upper side, north side, and Mohenjo-daro is on the downside. So H comes first alphabetically and M comes later on. So that used to be the technique, that Harappa means upper, Punjab, P for Punjab comes earlier, Sindh comes later, Mohenjo-daro comes later. So a student will never forget this. He will not misplace Mohenjo-daro with Harappa and Harappa with Mohenjo-daro. So these small techniques in teaching and creating memory forever in the minds of students. That is the creation of a good teacher. So, use of art in teaching. Similarly, when I used to teach world history, particularly the World War, First World War, the creation of First World War, so it was a graphic things because Russia, Prussia, at that time Prussia, Italy, France. These used to be the main 4-1. So, dual alliance, then dual entente, triple alliance, then triple entente. And by drawing one line that these were the 3 in one part, these were the 3 in the second part. So that was the technique that student will never forget. So teachers' note are equally important. Right, sir? Teaching that there was a video of Prithviraj Chauhan by one Bihari gentleman, and he created on the board such nice things that one cannot forget that. Nice. So it is creativity of a teacher, that how he or she can make students learn by heart. That is the point. Next one. Hello, next one. Yeah. Today, students are having knowledge of subjects only, which they are supposed to, because they want to have certificate and degrees and all that. But at the same time, they are having no knowledge of the world events other than those cricket and all that where they are interested, or some films or something like that where their interest lies. But the economic affairs or the political affairs or something like that, they are hardly interested in those. So they are having no practical knowledge. They are having no knowledge of the world events. And I don't say no knowledge, but they are having scant knowledge of world events. They are concerned with their subjects of their taste. If mathematics is not good for them, he will not do that. If English is not interesting for them, he will avoid that. Only the pass marks will do. So students have to be coached like that they should have interest. It is duty of a teacher to create interest among students about a particular subject. Maybe English, maybe math, maybe history, maybe something like that. So he has to use some skills and tools to convince the students that this is not tough subject, this is easy subject. Right, sir? One thing more, how come that Indian students are not becoming, even teachers, I should apologize, they are not organic thinkers, they are not original thinkers. Therefore, hardly there is any leadership in the education. You will acknowledge this thing, that most of the industry, most of the corporates are having their universities. It is not being run or it is not being founded by educationists, hardly, not more than 5%. Those stalwarts in business industry or in finance industry, including Ambani's, they are having universities. How come? They are for the benefit of the students, they are for the benefit of education, or minting money is the sole purpose. So, industry leaders education industry leaders are not from education. That is the most tragic part. I think so. You may agree, you may not agree. That's why we are not able to provide them the basic things, that you should be original thinker. You should think something different. Next one. How come that a student who goes out of India becomes a very important person? But here in India, they are not. Having said so many things about the Indian youth, or about their talent, or about their lethargy, about their interest, But I think Indian youth has great potential. If there was no potential, then top corporate positions in the world would not have been occupied by Indians. More than a dozen world corporations are being handled by Indians. So they have great potential. Now, the need of R is from making them robotics or third-rate employable students to original thinkers and leaders of education industry. We shall have to think about that. It is only a teacher who is not only a teacher, but a friend, a philosopher, a guide, and moreover, a mentor. Because it is he who can shape the students into the manner that he wants that student to develop in future. So the great responsibility lies with a teacher, whether offline or online, to mentor the students and to give them what they need. A good teacher always uses his skills and art in creating a new, distinct method of teaching. That is where importance of art lies. Everybody can do tools and all that, though I don't know how much it is useful for me, but most of the students, they use it. Most of the teachers, they use it. What is the input of a teacher into the teaching method? That is important. That is where teaching and learning pedagogy lies. See, from ancient periods, how come that intellectuals were there, abundant? Dr. Kalam, he was educated in a village school. So he could rise to that President of India or the Missile Man of India. Radhakrishnan, he used to teach in England universities. So they have potential. The only thing is how to drive that potential out of that and how to furbish that and how to shine that intellect among the students. Next one. Just have a glimpse of that one. You all know that. There are so many. Parag Agrawal is the latest one. The foremost thing is that all these Indians, particularly IT, they are from IT or management. Some of them are from management, some of them are MSc Computer or IIT. Most of them are IIT. All of them, those who are occupying their positions abroad, they are citizens of those countries also. They could shine only when they went outside. Raghubir Khurana, some of you must be knowing, he was Nobel laureate. He came to India to seek job. He was not given a job. He went back. There he worked and then he got this degree, Nobel laureate. These Indian youth hardly find any opportunity to shine here in India. But when they go, their intellect, their capacity, their potential is recognized by those countries and by those corporate bigwigs, and they are employed there. They are given citizenship over there. So a teacher and the government particularly will have to think over it, that how come that these guys from India, they were simply from villages or some semi-urban cities. They performed well here, they went for higher education abroad, and then they settled over there. This is called brain drain. We are not able to bring them back. No, they are not willing to come because working condition and so many things are there that they are not ready to come to India back now. So the government, the educational institutions, and the leaders of education community, if they want to retain brains in India, brains of youth in India, they shall have to think over it, that how to retain the Indian intellectuals, Indian brains from going out. Next one. Yeah. So this is all that I wanted to say. The only thing is that I'm not for or against anything. I'm for totally. I'm for use of technical things, technology in the teaching of classrooms, in the teaching of students, science or art, something like that, and use of art, that is important. Use of art by the teacher, how he uses his art, his creation in teaching is very important. In school days, you must remember by now that a particular teacher used to pat the student very good, and giving stars in his copy or something like a smiley to boost the student. Why not in colleges? Why not in schools? Why not? This was done in primary school or some senior secondary school. Why not in colleges and universities? We don't give this boost to the student who are intellectuals. So, as a teacher, I think you are the nation builder. You are supposed to be nation builder, and you are termed as nation builders. Therefore, you have and you hold great responsibility to the society and particularly to the Indian youth, which is almost one third of the total population. So, I salute to you as a teacher, and I stop here talking about this topic. Thank you very much, sir, for patiently listening to this topic. Thank you very much. Santosh, sir.
I'm I'm thankful to all of you. I'm very much thankful to Honorable Vice Chancellor Sri Chattar Singh sir for his precious inputs on science and art of teaching and learning. Now, I would like to receive some inputs, some perspective from our faculty members because they are the practitioners. They can also add some of the perspectives into the existing context.
Right. Right.
If anybody is interested, most welcome. All the respected faculty members, kindly take this opportunity to express your views, thought process, and your experiences. Anybody? Dr. Surinder? Yeah. Anybody would like to say? Fine. So if there are any questions, you can ask for that. Any questions?
Santosh, sir.
Participants?
Santosh, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If they are not asking, I should ask them.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
How many teachers, those who are attending this FDP, can go to the class without preparation of the subject and can handle the students for 1 hour? How many teachers can go to the class without PPT, without notebook, and can handle the class for 1 hour?
Participants, all the respected professors, the question is given to you. Okay, sir, next question.
Next question is, how many of
Good morning,
you,
sir.
how many of you think,
Yes.
Vinita,
Yes,
just a
sure.
minute. How many of you think that students can accelerate, they can excel in their own fields without practical knowledge of the subject? Maybe law, maybe agriculture, maybe computer science, maybe any subject. How many students can excel in their field without practical knowledge? What is that?
Professor Vinita want to say something.
Yeah, most welcome, Vinita.
Good morning, sir.
morning.
As your first question was how many faculties are going without books and PPTs. So I am getting opportunity to taught a single subject from last 10 years. So most of the time I didn't require any book or PPT or anything. I can handle the students for 4 hour or sometimes 2 hour or 4 hour. I can handle the students. I am not getting what you expect, whether I should use the book or I should avoid it. I am not getting that.
I should congratulate you. You have a great memory, great brain. I told you this thing that our teacher used to have no pen, no attendance, and he could speak on the topic sequence wise. He could know what he taught yesterday, will repeat that subject for a few minutes, and then will proceed. I'm happy that at least we are having such great teachers in our generation, in the new generation. We used to have that one there. But I'm happy, Vinita.
When I was in 12th standard, my science teacher never used any book or anything. And at least 1 to 2 hours, they are continuously dictating the notes to us. In 1994-96. So just I tried to get some knowledge or some things from my teachers, and that's why I'm practicing.
Just tell me one thing, Vinita. Don't you think that before going to the class, you should flip the pages that you have or the notes that you have in your mind, or the topics that that you are going to deliver in the classroom?
Sometimes I refer, sir. Just to recall what I have talked yesterday and what I'm going to take today.
Yeah, that we should not eat an humble pie when in class and somebody asks, some students ask something about that. So we should be mentally prepared, because students are the best teachers. Students are the best. The question of the students force the teacher to learn more.
Dr. Simarjit Kaur, she wanted to say
I want to say something.
Yeah,
Yes,
Simarjit.
yes. Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Good
Good
morning.
Sir,
morning.
the subjects that we have been teaching for such a long time, I do agree there is no need to take, any notes in the classroom. What is stored over here, that is already there. But yes, sir, you are very much right. I do agree with you. We need to recall the things and we need to upgrade ourselves. Even in yesterday talk, when sir told us, one of the speaker, like it's a software. So we need to keep it updating every day, every
Right.
time. So whatever I have stored in my mind, I update that knowledge before going into the classroom. So the students, they are familiar with, sir, it's just one click away. So they are having answers for all the problems. So they come prepared in the classroom. They come with the questions. So they don't ask questions to understand the concept. They
Test the teacher.
just check the knowledge of the teachers. So we need
Yes.
to be prepared for the same. So I am ready to face any questions whenever I go into the classroom, and I update my software. And I keep reading the specific topics, what are the recent developments or any
Yes.
kind of any practical or research is going on, so that I can share those recent examples with my students. So I don't take any book or notes, but yes, if it is, we always keep on talking about the smart room. So yes, I take the presentation, I show them the pictures, because that I don't like to waste the time by drawing on the board. So I have a limited time period. I have, in 40 to 45 minutes, I have to explain so much things. So technology has given me the privilege, so I show them the pictures so that they can easily memorize the things. But
Right.
yes, sir, I don't take any. It's not like I'm taking book and reading the notes. What I have stored in my mind, that is from 10 or 15 or from the 20 books. So that is the the combination of all and the facts, the figures, the recent developments.
That's very nice. That's very
Thank you, Dr.
teacher, Simarjit. I'll ask one thing. Whenever a student asks you question, midway you are having your class, you are teaching there, and suddenly he raises, "Ma'am, this thing." Do you get irritated or?
No, no. I don't get irritated, but yes, I do tell my students, let me reach to the end. Because when I will reach to the end, you will be getting your answer. So in the beginning, when we give them the basic information, they come up with a number of questions. But when I'm moving towards the end of my lectures, and then at the end of my lecture, I ask them the same question. Now, do you have the same question? They say, no, ma'am, I get the answer.
That is the best way. We used to have one teacher. Anybody who asks question in the classroom will be scolded.
Oh.
Snipped. How dare you ask question in my class? So that
Thank
used to
you.
be the practice earlier.
Thank
But
you, Dr.
the best thing is
Simarjit.
that at the end of class, something which is being asked, or there should be Saturday free
Yes.
for everybody. They can ask so many questions
Yes.
about whatever has been taught
Yes, yes.
for the last 5 days. So that is the practice being followed by many institutions. That Saturday is meant for this group discussion, and whatever is being discussed for the last 5 days, they can memorize that, or they can clear that concept.
Yes, sir. We are having tutorials classes for same.
Thank you very much, Simarjit.
Thank you.
Am I audible,
Dr.
sir?
Now there are other professors, Dr. Virendra Kumar and Dr. Sudhindra Jalwadi. So
Am I audible,
they would
sir?
like to say something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Coming to
Please
your
switch on
first
your
question,
video, sir.
that is okay.
Thank
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I hope
Yeah.
I am visible also.
you.
Sir,
Yes,
coming to
yes,
your
yes,
first
sir, yes.
question regarding preparation, frankly speaking, I'm not getting much time directly for direct preparation since last 15-16 years. But the way of preparations have changed, I suppose. It is not direct preparation, but indirect preparation that goes into teaching. Earlier, say, when I had to deliver lecture for 45 minutes or 1 hour, that is before 29 years when I graduated. So immediately after that, I had to prepare for at least 4 to 5 hours for single lecture. But now, because sometimes the subject has already been taught, because the ways of preparation have changed. Sometimes we have to copy some files, sometimes we download some files, sometimes we download some presentation, sometimes we prepare the presentations in advance. And further, coming to the work distribution, AICTE had earlier stated that teachers should divide the time such that 25% for teaching, 25% research, 25% administrative, 25% for say community service. So out of that, sometimes it happens that this balance of 25% is not maintainable, and sometimes administrative duties come. Sometimes say director makes a phone call when the presentation is going on, and sometimes during the online teaching also these things happen. So what we have to do is, first we have to switch off the mic, we have to switch off the video so that there is no interruption during the meetings, and we have to plan the things in advance. Yeah, even viewing the NPTEL videos, the video of say 55 to 60 minutes, I have found that if I prepare correctly, it takes me around 4 to 5 hours, because I forward, I rewind, I take my notes, I prepare my own PPT from that sometimes. And the preparation, if seriously done, it really requires still the same time. But of course, refreshing has an advantage. And again, there is difference if you have already taught that subject before and if you are teaching it for the first time. So when I have to teach it for the first time, so it is better to prepare it during vacations or say in advance at the beginning of the semester. Further, it is my habit that I give all the course material at the beginning of the semester itself to my students, so that they can go at their own pace, regardless of whatever maybe my speed in teaching, or say speed of the class, because different students have got different teaching abilities. And nowadays we have competition directly with the internet, and our role is more that of a facilitator. So as far as the question answer sessions are concerned, if I don't know the answer, I frankly tell them that I will see the internet and maybe I will answer it tomorrow. So I don't
That's the
have any
best thing.
hesitation.
That is the best thing. That is a sign of a good teacher. I'll come back to you tomorrow after consulting my books or
Yes, sir.
whatever.
So I think just the ways of direct preparation has changed, but now we do it indirectly, because we know that there are administrative contingencies, there are sometimes visitors in the room, sometimes some administrative work comes.
Virender sir, you are very right.
Thank you,
You
sir.
are very
Thank you,
right when you
Professor
say that
Virender Kumar. Now we would move towards Professor Jalwadi.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yeah, good morning, sir. First of all, this is a very wonderful session and we enjoyed a lot. Sir, I am from mechanical engineering department, and up till now, presently my age is 49 and I have taught more than 35 subjects. Every
Sir, you can adjust your camera, sir. We can't see.
And voice also. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So till today, I have taught more than 35 subjects. We will not keep that subject with us for more than 2 years. We will change for almost every semester. And so when it comes to going without PPT, without notebook to the class, I don't believe in that. So because we need to prepare well, organize our thought process, and because we are teaching to the fresh learners, so we should not do any R&D activity within this class. The principle should flow easily, that should be digested. So even in spite of putting all these efforts and using modern technology and other things, the biggest challenge that what we face is catching the attention of these students. Because we are here in this teaching profession, so last from 22 years, but the present generation, that what we see is they get distracted, maybe once again because of explosion of this huge information technology available. So if you could guide us something.
Professor Jalwadi, if you give me opportunity, may I put forth my views based on this practice?
Yes, sir.
Practice of teaching 35 subjects.
Yeah.
I think we need the improvement in this approach, because if I need a water, if I dig at 100 different locations just by 1 feet, then I don't feel that I will get a water. I have to dig it at one location 100 feet. That will give me the water. Now, if we are teaching 35 subjects in the span of 30 or 35 years of experience, career span, then we are putting in a lot of efforts in dealing with the various subjects, preparing those subjects and leaving those subjects when we are getting the command on that. So it is the loss of human efforts, and it is the loss of the students also.
Yes.
It is a big loss to the students because they are not getting the command, particularly they are not experiencing the command of the teacher on a subject. Every time the teacher is new to the subject, maybe having 2 or 3 years of experience, and that is a big loss to the students. And another dimension is the research in that particular subject. So that is absent in that case. So it is better to have the identified stream. If you are from mechanical engineering, as you already said, then maybe thermal engineering or design engineering or manufacturing and management. So these are the 3 different streams in mechanical engineering. So any one stream can be picked up and the relevant subjects can be identified, and the entire career can be developed in the same. That will also give the huge benefit to the students and also to the teacher for developing his or her profile in that domain. So professional activities are very important, and aligning with those professional organizations, becoming the member of those professional organizations and adding the professional value by doing various activities as well as the research in that specific domain, that will certainly create the brand of the individual as well as the institution. This is my view. So I think we need the internet.
Yeah,
May I say something
agree
in
with
reply
you.
to that, sir?
Yeah, I agree with you, sir. But what is my experience is, unless and until you go wider, it is difficult to go the deeper. If you keep on teaching engineering graphics only course for first year for more than 20 years, so I think that you will not be able to connect that subject with other courses. So once you teach so many courses, the interrelationship between them you will be able to establish. So this is
That-
what I have felt.
Yes. So those are those interlinkages, those can be explored. That is advantage. So every approach has pros and cons. Every approach has the positive side and negative side. Yeah. So thank
Sir,
you.
may I-
And Dr. Surinder Sharma, would you like to say something? Dr. Sharma?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Sir, only the concern is, are we making or are we igniting the passion in the students who are a current teacher to be a good teacher tomorrow? Because we need to make good teachers. So unless and until we ignite that passion within the students, so it is very difficult to get new good teachers. So hence, our way of presenting ourselves ethically, having empathy, subject matter knowledge, and other than subject knowledge, the knowledge of life itself. Because unfortunately, our system of teaching were based on Britishers' way of getting control to the entire population. They wanted few people to manage the entire country. After independence, it was the same focus, but the government wanted to control. So they have created IAS, UPSC and everything. Now the private people are coming in forward. So government has to give it platform so that government and private, they move forward. At the same time, entrepreneurship should also be given in terms of focus on startups. So it is very difficult to focus on single thing. So with our population, we need to have the holistic approach rather than to be a subject matter expert or to focus on one thing. We initially in ancient time, we had Takshila and other university. That university was not customized to teach something which is like engineering or something else. It was more to gain knowledge, to share knowledge, to add to that knowledge so that the future generation are getting advantage. But it was more in a philosophical way. So when you see the nuclear bombs or the other things, the Western country which they have adopted, at the end of the day, the core knowledge has taken from ourselves. So ending this thing, when our Shankaracharya was asked what is knowledge, what is teacher, and how to lead a good life, he informed his student by way of a verse. I don't know the Sanskrit word, but I can pass on the meaning. There are two knowledge. One knowledge is to understand the life what God has given you. Other knowledge is to understand life beyond life. So a person asks, what is the bottom line of all the knowledge? He told, the core knowledge is Ishwar Satya Jagat Mithya. So materialistic knowledge you need to gain. At the same time, the knowledge of life is more important and beyond life. So with this humble information within you, you should part impartial knowledge without any bias of race, culture, or favorite student. So teacher as an example is the best student. And once we like, everyone is influenced by Dr. Abdul Kalam. Why? He has not taught me directly, but indirectly we are influenced by him. So unless and until you influence a person, ignite his passion, he is not going to listen to you. If you create a passion in him, you ignite that burning desire to kill the ignorance and get some knowledge, he will be a good teacher. That are my thoughts. Thank you, sir.
Right.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma.
May I say
Yes.
something, sir?
Virender, sir.
I just want to thank you, sir, for giving me an opportunity again. I just want to reply to Dr. Santosh Rane regarding this what Dr. Sudhindra said, teaching of multiple subjects. In fact, I would like to briefly state my experience. I did not go in a straight direction like BE, MTech, PhD. What I did was say BE, MBA, LLB, and in different areas. So I have taught different subjects related to engineering, management, and law. And over a period of say last 29 years, now it is more than 99 subjects that I have taught. And what I have seen is that it doesn't mean that they are all different subjects. Sometimes the syllabus changes. I will just give you an example of computer science and engineering. So many subjects that we are teaching, those subjects were not in existence when I graduated in 1990 from Amravati in Maharashtra. So at that time, we didn't have operating systems. We didn't have say this object-oriented programming. We didn't have mobile communications and say wireless networks and these subjects. So definitely to keep ourselves up to date, we had to change the subjects. When I did MTech from NIT TDR Chandigarh, they taught that every semester you must take at least one new subject if you want to progress. They gave an example that one teacher taught one subject for 16 years and he went for an interview. He was asked his teaching experience. So he told that my experience is 16 years. So the interviewer replied that your experience is not 16 years, but your experience is 1 year multiplied 16 times. So my habit is that even if I teach a subject 4 to 5 times, every time I teach it from a different book. So that way it gives me a holistic view. And even now the AICTE in 2019 guidelines, they have stated that interdisciplinary education or say interdisciplinary research should be encouraged, and nobody should be denied increments or promotion on that basis. And actually my MTech is in engineering education. पढ़ाते कैसे है? What in 3 Idiot Amir Khan says that पढ़ाते कैसे? मैं तो वो पढ़ाता हूँ कि पढ़ाते कैसे. So once you know the teaching skill, now even if the new subject come to you, now in during this pandemic, I have learned about interdisciplinary areas like IoT, robotics, that are say related, or VLSI design related to mechanical, electrical, electronics engineering. So unless we have got that holistic view, and further, I am ashamed to say that I can't teach a particular subject because I am not participating in any meetings regarding distribution of subjects. कि जहाँ पर कुत्ते बिल्ली की तरफ फैकल्टी मेंबर्स लड़ते हैं कि ये सब्जेक्ट वो पढ़ाएगा, मेरे सब्जेक्ट को कोई हाथ नहीं लगाएगा. अरे ग्रेजुएशन किया है, 48-40 सब्जेक्ट पास किया है, हाउ कैन वन से दैट आई कांट टीच ए पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट? तो मैं बोलता हूँ जो भी लेफ्ट ओवर हो, जो भी बचा कुचा सब्जेक्ट हो, जो डिफिकल्ट हो, जो किसी को ना आता हो, वो सब्जेक्ट दो. आई विल वर्क फॉर 3 to 6 months ऑन दैट सब्जेक्ट and I can teach that. और मेरा exchange offer भी होता है कि if some say guest faculty or new faculty faces some subject, तो मेरा exchange offer होता है कि भाई सब्जेक्ट मुझे दे दो, आप easy सब्जेक्ट ले लो, मुझे difficult सब्जेक्ट दो, मैं difficult सब्जेक्ट पढ़ा लूंगा. And I have ensured almost 100% results of my students. So I think that should be the view of everybody that although लोग बोलते हैं कि one should not be a jack of all trades and master of none, but I have 3 master's degrees and मुझे नहीं लगता है कि I am master of none. So that should be the view of teaching. So I agree with say Dr. Sudhindra, and I say somewhat disagree with Dr. Santosh Rane. Thank you, sir.
Okay, fine. So there are the different views of the different individuals.
That is the beauty.
He has a right to express the views. That's good because that gives the different flavor and different thought process to explore. So yes, sir. So thank you for the wonderful session. You have given a lot of insights towards the science and art of teaching and learning, and all the participants have enjoyed, I'm sure about it. I request our organizing team to kindly summarize the session and also give the vote of thanks.
Yes, sir. It's a great pleasure to propose vote of thanks for this session. I thank today's eminent speaker, Dr. Chancellor Singh, for his valuable time and deep insights on advances in science and art of teaching and learning. So I started the session by introduction, what exactly science and art stands for, their exact meaning and interpretation. So gave an introduction on fundamentals, which was followed by various subtopics under the umbrella, which included modes of teaching, hybrid model of teaching and learning, the advances been made in scientific teaching and learning, how a teacher is important, how can one be creative in teaching to make it more effective, an overview of the Indians heading the global corps. We are grateful to you, sir, for today's very engaging, insightful, and knowledge-filled session. I'm certain that all the participants would reap great benefits from it. I thank all the participants for their enthusiasm and active participation throughout.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much to all the participants and particularly Santosh Rane sir and those who asked questions, Surendra sir, Virendra sir, Surendra sir and Dr. Kaur. Thank you very much
Thank you,
for
sir.
enlightening me by asking questions and participating in the deliberations. Thank you, so nice of you. All the
Hope
best.
to see you again in future programs. Thank you so much for enlightening the minds.
Hope to
Thank
see
you,
you
sir.
all. Thank you, sir.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
time.
Thank
Bye.
you,
Bye.
sir. Thank you, sir. So nice of you. God bless you. God bless you all.
Thank you,
You are
sir.
the
Thank you,
pillar
sir.
of Indian society.
Yes, sir. All the respected professors are requested to kindly fill the feedback form. We will join for the next session at 11:30. Thank you so much. Very good morning to you, sir. A warm welcome to you.
You